Everyone's got something that you haven't experienced, and they have, good or bad. And so just because someone else has experienced something different and that you don't understand, just recognize that you've experienced something that they don't understand. And just because it doesn't fit into your narrative one way or the other, doesn't mean that it's not legitimate. And it's something that needs to be passed off as a personal thing. One of the things that is an aspect of my condition, I don't know how it manifests for other people, this is how it manifests for me. Let me make that clear. Is that you can't tell me because and have me accept that as the reason. And if you can't tell me more than just because, you should probably question why you're doing it. Number of times people have told me they've done something because, and then kept doing it even after you told them there was a better way to, or showed them there was an objectively better way to do it. And they just said, well, this is what we've always done. I can't just go with the flow because that's the only reason we do it, because of all the social pressures. I don't feel that. I don't feel those social pressures to just conform. I objectively don't feel them. And so that's why you just can't tell me because other people will say, oh, because, oh, and then they might think, oh, there's this social pressure, there's this social reason, that's the reason. I don't think that. I just think, well, if we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that, why are we doing it this way? That's all that matters in the equation as far as I think. So you can choose to make that person who thinks only in, like, just purely based on what needs to get done. You can treat that person as a pariah and an outcast and say, oh, all these other things. Or you could recognize the strengths they have and leverage them. Your call. I'm a firm believer that almost regardless of whatever it is, there's some advantage. For almost everything, I believe, on some level for the society, there might be some advantage. I know it's like, you know, someone, like I grew up with an autistic brother. It was really difficult, especially since I was already socially awkward. Having your 9-year-old brother wearing his Blues Clues outfit to your hockey games with patches because he's outgrown it, but he can't let it go, and still having to defend him, like someone like, man, you're, and just like, as someone who's already having a hard time making friends, having to then deal with that, and like he would have tantrums at the games and would have to leave, and everyone knew he was your sibling, and just it taught me empathy. And that empathy, even though I haven't helped as many people as I would like, that empathy has given me this disposition of understanding and recognizing all these other different problems that people have. And it gives me this perspective where my default assumption is to blame the situation. Very rarely will I initially blame the individual unless I've seen the individual do a lot of things. Typically, I will just say, this person is in this situation, and I will put the blame on the situation or the reason on the situation, which enables me to then treat the person as a person and help them through the situation, rather than saying they're responsible for the situation, deal with it yourself. And so, not saying like it, like, and so that's my view on it, is like, even if it's bad, there's an opportunity for good to come out of it. It might be that, you know, an injury brings a family back together, all these things. I'm not saying that was the purpose it happened, but a lot of bad things happen, and if there's enough people around you and there's enough connections, I think it can be good. If you're just by yourself and completely isolated and something really bad happens, then there's nothing to happen there. I mean, it's just bad, right? There's no one, the only person involved is losing, right? But when there's all these other aspects and all these other things, there's a huge opportunity for everyone in the group and the society to benefit, as long as they are willing to take that approach.